Hey y'all, it's Darla with Growing Tropical. You guys, I'm out here at our new property here in Cortez, Florida, and I am by myself today. I have a job to do, and that job is to grout the kitchen backsplash. Robin and I put this backsplash up over the last couple of days, or we've been doing that over the last couple of days, and now it's time to grout all of this in. But before I get started on that, y'all, I want to give you a little bit of an idea of what this kitchen looked like before we started. And so I'm going to try to pop up pictures as I'm kind of like talking about some of the key things, or not some of the key things, all of the things that we change in this kitchen. I'm going to pop those pictures up so that it'll give you a little bit of a visual, because I'm like that. I'm a visual person. I need to see things. So I thought you guys would all appreciate that. So the first thing that I want to share with you, and the first picture I believe that we're going to pop up, is going to be when you first walked into the front door. You were greeted right in this area with a huge brown cabinet that housed a refrigerator. It stuck out probably a good couple of feet out into this big walkway that's right here and open now. And so one of the first things that we did was we ripped that out of there, and we took the refrigerator out and we relocated the refrigerator. And I will show you that probably in the next video, because that'll go into a completely different room. So that was one of the first things we did, was we ripped out this area right here with that cabinetry and the refrigerator. The next thing that we did was this opening. I'm hoping you guys can see this pretty good right here. This opening right here was not an opening. This wall went all the way down. It was a solid wall. And I thought to myself, you know, this would be a much brighter, and even though it's a small kitchen, it would be brighter and it would be more open feeling if we busted a hole in this wall. And that's exactly what we did. Robin about died when I said it, because I'm like, oh gosh, honey, that would be terrific just to smash a hole right into that wall. And he's just going, oh. But that's the way Robin and I roll. So I got my way, and I got my hole bashed out into another area. And so Robin put some beautiful trim around there and opened it up. And of course, the light from that room in there, which again, I'll be showing you in the next video, that light from there just flowed right into here. And I loved it. It immediately fit exactly my vision and what I thought this kitchen could be. The next thing that I focused on was, because this is a 1955 home, an old home, first of all, it is solid. I mean solid. This is a home that is solid concrete block filled with concrete down in the center. I mean, these walls are going nowhere. And so needless to say, all the electric and everything that was run after the fact, like, you know, people who purchased this house over and over again, anytime they were going to do something, trying to go or burrow into the wall, not that it wasn't doable, it just was a lot more difficult to go into these walls. So anyway, with all that being said, these outlets that are right here, we've got more over on this side, and that's kind of beside the camera. You guys can't see it right yet, but basically it's the same thing. These outlets right here, they were recessed from the wall. They were in big boxes, very gaudy looking, and they were connected with a bar that went across. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you know, when we were thinking about refurbishing this kitchen, it was like, okay, well, maybe we could do this, or maybe we could do that, and to make it not look quite as obvious or whatever. And I was thinking to myself the whole time, why can't we just go ahead and just fur the wall out and, you know, create that space or whatever. And so again, you know, it led to, you know, more work and more work and more work, but I'm really glad that we did it. That's exactly what we did when we ripped out all the cabinetry and all the appliances and everything and took it back down to the bare bones. Robin was able to go ahead and we re-drywalled in those areas, furred the wall out, re-drywalled in those areas, thereby creating that recess in the wall there. without having to chop through a bunch of like concrete or anything. So that made me very, very, very happy. And I'm hoping you guys can see in those pictures that very tacky looking ugly bar. It was a necessary thing that had to happen, obviously, to have electric in this kitchen and to have it run where it was run. But anyway, I love the fact that we were able to recess all of those outlets into the wall, making the kitchen look a lot more modern. And then I'm just trying to think, with the exception of gutting everything. Okay, yep, I'm thinking, as soon as I looked up, this caught my attention. This spot right here, this beautiful light that Robin put in for us. I'm not real sure if you guys can see that. I'm going to tilt the camera here just a little bit to see if you guys can see that. Hold on one second. There is a light. There it is, right here. That light was not there. That was a ceiling fan that was actually in there, and the kitchen was extremely, extremely dark. And so I thought to myself, Robin, can you pull that ceiling fan down? Is there something that we can do, to, put a light there? And Robin, being as gracious and wonderful to his wife as he is, usually gives me what I want. And he said, Darla, we can do that. However, he said to me, there is no electricity going to, no dedicated electricity. There were wires for things to be like hardwired to. But he said if we, in the fan, it was hardwired. So it was a situation where it had a pull switch or one of those pulleys on it or whatever to make the fan go. And he said, if you want a light up there, he goes, you're going to have a light that either has like a pull on it, or it's going to have to be hardwired and stay on all the time. And that's not practical. So him and I started, kind of looking, on Amazon and just different websites as to what we could do. So we found that light. And we found it at Amazon, and it was actually, we have two of them. We have that one. You can't see this one, but this one's identical to this other than it's round. It's up underneath, it's recessed up underneath here. They were on remote controls. So Robin was able to go ahead and hardwire both of them in, because it's the same situation back here under the sink. That light had to be hardwired in. So we were able to rip the fans down, and we were able to put the light up underneath there, recessed underneath the cabinet, and we were able to give them each their own remote controls. And these are such beautiful LED lights. And they just, when we put them in, when Robin installed those, it just illumified the kitchen. I mean, it just made this kitchen wake up between the natural light that's coming from this room with this opening, and with these lights that are in, or just this light, I should say, it really just made this kitchen so bright. And let's face it, y'all, a bright kitchen is a happy kitchen. There is nothing worse than having a dark kitchen and fumbling around and not being able to see what you're doing. So that made me really, really, really happy. And so now where we are is all the cabinets are in, all the appliances, the dishwasher. I have a stove over here. Again, I will bring the camera around so you guys can see, but a stove and a microwave. And of course, we went with all white cabinets. I have the granite countertops. And then, of course, this beautiful blue, I guess it's like a cobalt blue or just a dark blue. Kitchen backsplash. So anyway, I hope that kind of gave you a little bit of an idea with the pictures and with me, telling you a little bit about, the things that were and what are now, gave you that visual of where we came from. So what I'm going to do, y'all, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this grout mixed up. This really isn't like a tutorial or anything like that. So I'm not a professional. Robin and I are just simple homeowners who have done a lot of renovation projects, to our own home over the years, and, a lot of trial and error. And, so when you guys look at this and see me doing these types of things or whatever, there are right ways to do things, and there are wrong ways to do things for sure. But I may not necessarily do things exactly like the professional or the orthodox way, if you will. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this all mixed up. I'm going to be using a non-standing grout, just for those of you who are looking at this as more of okay, how did she do this type of thing? The backsplash is a glass. It's a tile glass. They're not individual tiles. They are on actually a sheet that looks just like this. There were 12 tiles and they were all connected together on that, what is it, like a, I forget what you call that. Oh, good. It's like a mosaic tile or whatever. And they were all attached to one another. So that was what I was working with. And then, of course, we adhered it all up. But I'm going to be using a non-sanded grout on these tiles for the reason that they are glass. A non-sanded grout will not give you that scratching because it doesn't have in that, I think it's called silica, which those fibers can really scratch on your glass tiles. So you want to be real careful to make sure that you're using a non-sanded grout when you're dealing with the glass. So other than that, it's pretty easy. I'm going to be using a float. It's got a rubber backing on it. You can pick these up at Home Depot, Lowe's, or Ace Hardware, or anywhere of your hardware stores or whatever. And basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be mixing the grout, and I'm going to be just kind of smearing it all over into all of the grout lines. And I'm going to let it set up for about, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes. And then I'm going to go through it with clean, fresh water and a sponge that looks just like this. And I'm going to just kind of wipe away all the excess. And then I will continue to do that until I do not have any more haze. So again, it's a very simple, easy process. And I will do my best to show you, as I do each of the steps. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to grouting this backsplash. guys, I'm all finished grouting. It was a little bit of a chore, I'm not going to lie. I had to crawl into a deep corner, which I had to scale the counter. You guys probably saw when my butt was in your face, but I hope you could still see, you know, what I was doing when I was smearing all that grout onto the tiles. The other area that was a little bit more difficult was reaching over the stove or going back behind the stove. I had to pull the stove out, and then I had to go over top of it because I'm just a little too short to work from the side. So anyway, I hope you guys were able to see all of that from start to finish. I have probably maybe just a couple more buckets of water where I, you know, clean fresh water where I need to kind of sponge to get that haze completely off there. But all in all, I am really in love with it. The tile looked great up by itself, but putting that bright white grout in between there just really brought it out and picks up the cabinets really nice, I think. So anyway, like I said, all I need to do is just go ahead and just get, you know, keep working on trying to get that haze off of there. And that's just kind of grunt work. It's just emptying your bucket and, you know, doing the sponge, you know, over and over and over again. Like I said, maybe 2 or 3 more buckets and I'll have that haze completely clean. All I have to do then after that is once everything sets and dries, as far as the grout's concerned, I'm going to go through and I'm going to caulk all the sides and, you know, from the cabinet, or I'm sorry, from the countertop up, and then of course the sides. We do have a small little area that's over here that we're going to put some trim pieces. The tiles are like, oh my gosh, they're probably like maybe a ½ an inch, which are just way too small, and that's lengthwise to cut on the tile saw. So we thought we would just get some really pretty white trim pieces and put some trim pieces up. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can see where those trim pieces might be. I think, and I apologize also if the sound sounds a little off from the rest of the video. I have an error, I think it was an error, format error on my mic. So I ended up having to just do the end of this video with just me and the camera. I thought I was pretty close, but you might be hearing a little echo. For that, I do apologize. But back to what I was saying, trim pieces much like this. We were just going to go up underneath the cabinet just to give it a little bit more of a finished look. I do not like unfinished. That's one of my peeves that I have when I am remodeling. Robin gets a little bit, you know, irritated with me sometimes because I just can't stand when things are just they have that untidy or that unfinished look. And so these will, I think, do the trick. Well, there's a will, there's a way to make things look nice. But all in all, again, you guys, the kitchen is pretty done. Like I said, I need to do the caulking. Robin's going to need to get the faucet in and hooked up. And from there, it's going to be just a matter of cleaning it all up and moving on to the next room. Not real sure if we will go into a dining room or a bathroom. But either way, that'll be another video. So definitely look forward to that video. And also, you guys, if you are enjoying this content, please let me know with a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, be sure to click that bell and subscribe to the channel. It will also notify you when I release new footage, or new videos. So you guys, I'm going to put an end to this video, but be sure to catch our next video as we are completing the renovations of our new vacation rental property. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.